All right, so today we are going to add and subtract fractions with like denominators. So as you can see here, this is standard 7121, and we are looking at the adding and subtracting part today. So I've got my math department shirt on. I'm very official. Here we go. Let's do this. Notice it's in the book in section 2.3 and 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6. So we are looking at the notes on page 5. Please go ahead and copy the new notes. Those are right here. We need to change all mixed numbers to improper fractions, and all subtraction, you have to do stay, change, change. So all mixed numbers, change them to improper. Make sure you do that right away. And right away for subtraction, do stay, change, change. Please write this down. Notice it's in both boxes because basically we don't know whether we're going to add or subtract until we look at the problem. We also have to find a common denominator, and that's something we're going to do tomorrow. But for today, still write it in your packet and make sure you remember that we multiply by a form of 1. That's like 4 over 4. Then we add or subtract the numerator, and that's depending on if they're the same signs, you add and keep. If they're different signs, subtract. And if you want to write that down, you totally could right here. Same signs, add and keep. Different signs, subtract. Don't forget step 4 is always to simplify, and step 5 is to check the signs. Remember when we subtract, different signs subtract, then you use the sign of the bigger number. All right. So page 5 should now be complete. If you didn't get it complete, make sure you pause the video. All right, here goes. Add and subtract like fractions. Like fractions are fractions that have the same denominator. This is just kind of for fun, but I've got my Evie, and he can be made into a bunch of different types. He's like all of the other ones. But for these fractions, we're talking about ones that have a common denominator. So like 3/7 and 4/7. They have to have the same denominator. Okay, now you get to try. Are the following like fractions? 5/8 and 7/8. Say yes or no. The correct answer should have been yes. They both have eighths in the denominator. Try the next one. Are these like fractions? 3/5 and 3/7. The correct answer is no. These are not like fractions. 5 is not the same as 7. Are these like fractions? 4/7 and -5/7. Correct answer is yes. Just because one's positive and one's negative doesn't change the fact they both have the same denominator. And that's going to help us. Okay, so now we're going to add fractions. When we add fractions, remember what we just said, we have to change them to improper, but these are proper, so we don't have to work on that. We do 5/8 and 7/8 by just adding the numerators. 5 plus 7 is 12, and we keep the denominator the same. Those are the size pieces. Those stay the same. Then 12/8. You do 12 divided by 8, or just ask yourself, how many 8s are there in 12? 12. There is 1. And now we need to subtract with 4 over 8 left over, but do not leave it like that. If you leave it 1 and 4/8, you'll get it wrong. You have to simplify. So to simplify, we divide by 4, divide by 4. We have 1 and 1/2 as our final answer. We also will have negative numbers. So the same rules apply as what we talked about before. 1/6 plus a -5/6. We have a positive and a negative. Different signs we have to subtract. So we do 5 minus 1, and the denominator stays the same. So that would be 4/6. You have to remember what the sign is though. This negative is the bigger, so we keep it negative. Okay? And then simplify. You're going to get it wrong unless you simplify. So we divide by a form of 1. 2 over 2 is the same as 1. That's why we can do it. So it's negative 2 over 3. That would be the correct answer. Now you get to try. Your turn. Use scratch paper to try this. Add these following like fractions. Negative 3/8 plus 7/8. All right. You should have seen these are different signs again. This is a positive, this is a negative, so you should have subtracted 7 minus 3, and the denominator stays the same. Use the sign of the bigger number. I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. Thank you. So 7 minus 3 is 4. This is 4/8. 4/8 is 1/2. So that's what you should have gotten for that answer. Check the sign. The bigger one was positive, so the answer is positive. All right, your turn again. Try this one. Okay, negative plus a negative, you add. This should have been negative 9 plus negative 6, and the denominator stays the same. That is negative 15 over 13. That would be negative 1 and 2/13. If you can simplify, you need to simplify, but in this case we can't. So that's our final answer. All right, let's look at one more. Add the following. Try it. Negative 3 and 5/7 plus negative 2 and 3/7. All right, again, you need a common denominator. We have 7ths and 7ths, so we're good to go. We also need an improper fraction. So 21 plus 6 is 26 over 7, stays negative. We've got 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17 over 7. And then we add the numerators because they're both negative. So 26 and 17, add. That's a negative 43 over 7. Then we have to simplify. So I see that 7 goes into 43 6 times. It stays negative, but there's 1/7 left over. Negative 6 and 1/7. All right, we also have to look at some subtraction. So so we're going to do this one together. Remember, with subtraction, the only difference is we have to do stay, change, change. So now it's really easy. Do you see how we just do 1 plus 4 is 5, and then the 9 stays the same. And that can't be simplified, so that's our answer, 5/9. Your turn. Try this one. Okay, so you should have done stay, change, change. And again, these can be added. 3 plus 11 is 14 over 13. But this time, hopefully you remember to simplify. You're going to get it wrong unless you simplify. 1 and 1/13. Try another one. Try this one. Negative 2 and 5/11 minus 7 and 1/11. Okay, so you should have done a negative plus another negative because we do stay, change, change. And then we need to have an improper fraction. So we've got 22 plus 5 is 27. This is still negative. And then we're adding more negative. This is 11 times 7 is 77 plus 1 is 78 over 11. Again, it's negative. Because they're both negative, we add them together. Same signs, add and keep. I'm going to do that over here. You'll have to let me know if I make any mistakes. And this is negative 105 over 11. This time we can't leave it like that. That's not going to work. So we have to do 105 divided by 11. 11 goes in 9 times because I can think of 99. And then I subtract. I can't subtract 5 minus 9, so I have to borrow. This is going to be 15 minus 9 is 6. And notice I already borrowed this one. You can do it one step at a time if you'd rather. So we would have taken away, made this a 0, this a 10, and then we'd have to borrow again if you wanted to do it that way. But otherwise, you know it's just 6. 105 minus 99 is 6. That goes on the top, and 11 goes on the bottom. So your correct answer should be negative 9 and 6/11. A little tricky. All right, last one. Please try this one. Trey has 2 data files on his computer that he's going to combine together. One file is 1 4/9 megabytes, and the other file is 3 8/9 megabytes. What will the size of the resulting file be? Go ahead. Okay, so I saw that we were asking what will the size of the resulting file be, and we're combining them. The word combine means to add. So I have 1 4/9 that I need to add to 3 8/9. If I add these, I check they have a common denominator. That's awesome. And then I make them improper fractions. So 9 times 1 plus 4 is 13 over 9. And 9 times 3 is 27 plus 8. Ooh. Make sure you know this, 35. All right, 35 over 9. And I add them together. They're both positive, so I don't have to worry about the signs. 13 plus 35 is 48 over 9. I can't leave it like that. I have to make sure to simplify. 9 goes into 48 5 times with 3 left over. And again, basically what I just did in my head was over here I could do 48 divided by 9. 9 doesn't go into 4, but it does go into 48 5 times. 9 times 5 is 45, and then subtract. That's 3/9 left over, 5 3/9. But then, we can't leave that, we also have to simplify this. Divide by 3, and I have 5 1/3. Make sure you label it, megabytes. Not sure if that abbreviation is right. You can tell me that too in the comments. All right, so but it should be 5 1/3 for sure. 5 1/3 megabytes. All right, time for questions. Please write a question about what you have learned. If you understand or if I went too fast and you're confused, please make sure to let me know. Thanks.